Sheriff Todd Baxter, District Attorney Sandra Doorley. My name is Chris Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I'm an innocent man. Sheriff Baxter, I lived in Penfield for 8 years. And everything is normal. I walk through the parking lot next to my residence 4,000 times. By 2033 Penfield Road, where Dr. Gloria Nichols has her dental practice. I go to Wegmans, I go to Target, Gold's Gym in Fairport. I do other things, walk through the parking lot, just like my neighbors walk through the parking lot, just like Penfield High School students walk through the parking lot, just like 20, 30, 40 people a day do walk through his parking lot. So one day I'm on my way back from Gold's Gym, and there were new tenants at 2033 Penfield Road because my dentist, Dr. Gloria Nichols, moved to practice. This is 50-year-old Nairaj Shah who lives with his 70-year-old mother. I hear screaming from behind me. I turn around, and this psychopath, Nairaj Shah, is in his car, completely losing his mind. And I have this confrontation with him, where I tell him to fuck off, and I give him the official finger of Brooklyn, New York, which I'm giving to you, Sheriff Baxter. Because people walk through this parking lot all day long, you Benito Mussolini skinhead. This is when I get a call from then $67,000 revolting hack, Shannon Meyer. When I speak to her for an hour, and I don't know, she's a corrupt cop. And you, Todd Baxter, as you're a corrupt cop, you're perfectly comfortable employing Shannon Meyer. So, this is called the accusatory instrument. It's dark, but your office has received this. And it says right up here, Layla Shah, who's the mother, the 70-plus-year-old mother of 50-plus-year-old Nairaj Shah. So even though Nairaj Shah, this 50-year-old mother's boy screaming at me, the complaint is by Layla Shah. And then it says here in the addendum, you have this in your office. I know you can't see it on YouTube. It says victim's name, the 1984 of you Benito Mussolini skinhead. I'm going to write about this, especially when I contact the United States Department of Justice soon. Victim? How is Layla Kumar Shah a victim? Call your now $83,000 psychopath Shannon Meyer into your office and ask her. Layla Kumar Shah is a victim because I walked through the parking lot? So it says here, on the above date approximately 1440 HRS, I responded to the above location for report of a male trespassing. Upon my arrival, I spoke with V. Shah, who stated that H. Shah was on his property today. Again, even though he's been informed that he's not allowed to be, I wasn't informed about a goddamn thing, you Benito Mussolini skinhead. She's a liar because she's sick and ill. The son is screaming at me, but the complaint's by the mother. So, I'm not going to read the next of this because I could get physically ill. But this is the important thing. On the above date, approximately 1440 HRS, I responded to the above location for the report of a male trespassing. A male trespassing. Todd Baxter, you know what? 20 people a day walk through that parking lot because I can see them from my couch in my living room all day long, beginning at 7 o'clock until midnight. Sometimes I glare on the phone. Look at my phone, you Benito Mussolini skinhead, because I'm going to make a copy of this, an 8.5 by 11. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to show you other copies. But these are two of my neighbors. Sometimes I glare on the phone. I'm going to hold that up. You should be able to see two of my neighbors walk through that parking lot. They're not arrested. There's no accusatory instrument from them. Your revolting hack Shannon Meyer's not calling my neighbors. Could you see them? I hope you can, but I'm going to send it to you. This is a different photo. You should be able to see this too. Sometimes it's a glare. And there's two more of my neighbors walk through the parking lot. Nobody's arrested. There's no accusatory instrument for the two neighbors here. It's 4 people I showed you. If it's a crime to walk through the parking lot, all 4 of these individuals should have been arrested. Nobody's arrested. And where's my 14th Amendment right to equal protection of the laws? This is why you're a joke. This is why you're insane. That's not hyperbole. It is insane to have a warrant for my arrest, but not anybody else for walking through that parking lot I've walked through 4,000 times. And I took each sentence, and you have it right here. Shannon Meyer tells a man named Steve Desmond of Brock Street in Lawn Care to ride his tractor by my residence. I've said this numerous times, but I'm talking to the Department of Justice and not you. Timothy Murphy says there's no land ownership here of the Monroe County Office for Real Property Tax Service, and these psychopaths like Marshawn and Rush, I don't have it. So when there's real crime in Rochester, New York, and Monroe County, this is what your revolting hack is doing to give $16,000 raise to. She tells Steve Debs and Brock Tree in Lawn Care, ride attracted by the residence of this Chris Chichester when he comes out of his residence, going to arrest him. But that's not a crime, Todd Baxter. It's not a crime for you to walk outside, stand right here, say nobody owns that land, and walk back in residence. And what was I on? A camera for 20-25 pen for roll call to surveillance device. And you're refusing to tell me if this is private technology or if you bought it and affixed it for me. You're refusing over and over to comply with the Freedom of Information Law. This is a different phone. These are your employees, your Bedino Mussolini skinhead. You can see them underwater in the pool. I hope you should be able to see that clearly. I have to hold it a certain way. These are your employees underwater in the pool. You see that? Trying to hold it, it's spinning. You're telling me this is a private event for your employees, Todd Baxter? This is why you're a joke. This is why you're a disgrace. How much did you pay to take that photograph, Todd Baxter? I don't care if it's a private event. It's where you don't understand the English language. I tell you, in the Freedom of Information Law, disclose how much money this was, and you say it's a private event. So, now, why is she still employed, this Shannon Meyer? Because you're corrupt. That's why, Todd Baxter. It's a simple reason. And you cannot control your sick compulsions and your language, Todd Baxter. Do you know that? Quote, I have a passion for jails. How do you possibly use that language? And here are your employees driving by Wegmans. This is a private business, you Benito Mussolini skinhead. They're there all the time. I've said that over and over too. So we got your Jonestown Kool-Aid drinkers alongside a private business at Wegmans. You got your employees writing a warrant for my arrest for parking lot I've walked through 4,000 times. And I'm demanding information from you, like if you've settled employment-related discrimination lawsuits under Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. So this is what you've received at the district attorney's office, the sheriff's office, where I'm demanding the names of my prosecutors. Perry Duckles got this on January 1. Read Perry Duckles of Monroe County District Attorney's Office. This is included in the registered mail return receipt. January 5th, close the names of my prosecutors. This is Psychopaths Incorporated. All your emails up there. This is January 11th, rejection and accountability. First sentence is, comply with 72 Freedom of Information Law documents dated January 10, 2023. This includes identification of prosecutor's silence. You refused. This is January 13th, where I wrote resign. And I'm telling you again to comply with the Freedom of Information Law, and you're refusing over and over and over to disclose the names of my prosecutors. We're here on January 10th. Telling you that day too. Todd Baxter, this is the photo where I think the employees of the Department of Justice are going to think that you are really completely out there as far as your corruption. Is this private technology? Or did you buy it and fix it for me? It's called a surveillance device. I was on it. It was on the phone of your Monroe County Sheriff Office employee when I came outside and told Desmond this Brock Tree and Lawn Care racket that nobody owns the land next to my residence. It has a signed number. I've been demanding for 4+ years now if this is private technology or if you bought it and fixed it for me. So this is January 24th with the perfect 2-word sentence for you, Todd Baxter and Sandra Doorley. You're freaks. That's the first sentence. It says, comply with the attached PDF dated January 24, 2023. There's 70 Freedom of Information Law documents. This attached PDF will arrive at your office via registered mail return receipt from the United States Postal Service tomorrow. Mail the information and demand to my address in Rochester, New York. This includes the name of that prosecutor's silence. You refused. So this is you, January 26th. Again, different information. On January 26th, to each link here, you have this where it says fanaticism, Sheriff Todd K. Baxter, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, Alex Renzi, perjurer, $73,000, 312 Michael C. Long in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Todd Baxter, Do you know what I'm talking about Michael Houlihan? You signed for this. You looked at this. Did you call Michael Houlihan into your office and ask him about that night? I'm not going to talk about that right now. I don't know if I'll talk about that on YouTube. Todd Baxter, your employee lied under oath. Michael Houlihan and grand jury convened by Michelle Crowley. Did you talk to him about it? Did you ask him why he's on the private property of my 72-year-old neighbor? Do you know what I'm talking about, you being a Mussolini skinhead? Violence, Richard J. Seaman. I'm at the Penfield Public Library. This disgusting, sickening psychopath walked into the Penfield Public Library, ran at me, slammed me in the head with his arm. I fell down. My head hit ceramic tile. His partner kicked me when I was on the floor. They picked me up, frog marched me out of the library, and his $28,000 bald-headed, skin-headed widow, Paul C. Metz, are waiting for me. Call Richard J. Seaman into your office and ask him why he violently attacked me at the sheriff's office. You won't. Do you know why? You're the most ridiculous cop cliche. You're the blue wall silence. Doesn't matter to you that Richard J. Seaman violently attacked me. So this is January 29th. Here, up here again, Psychopaths Incorporated, all your emails. I use Proton now because it's unlimited recipients and I know I can reach you. Where I read your salaries. Here. On this day, public employee salaries disclosed, Sheriff Todd Baxter. Public employee salaries disclosed, Attorney Sandra Doorley. That's just the base salaries. I've been demanding for 18 months how you pay your employees with time and a half or overtime, however that's done, and you've been refusing. I will soon contact Thomas P. DiNapoli and tell the duly elected controller of the state of New York that you've been refusing for 18 months, and you refuse to tell the controller of the state of New York how you pay your employees for overtime and time and a half, or however it's done beyond the 40th hour. This is the Lisa Gray here. For Perry Duckles at Monmouth County Sheriff's Office. So it's Lisa Gray because she's the special counsel. I sent her the link about you, Perry Duckles, how you're refusing to disclose the names of my prosecutors. My prosecutors are silence. I've been in jail 6 times, and 6 times the prosecutor has not talked in court. My public defenders, Mark Phillips and Regina Harper, who I've lost total and complete respect for, also refuse to disclose the names of my prosecutors. That's insane. Regina and Mark, 620 Park Avenue, PMB number 361, Rochester, New York, 14604. Send it to me. Quote, the prosecutor's not backing down. That's what you said to me, Regina. So you know his name. Regina Harper, the Monmouth County Public Defender. Mail the name of the prosecutor's not backing down and all my prosecutors. Send it to me. Mark, send the names of my prosecutors to 620 Park Avenue, PMB number 361, Rochester, New York, 14604. If you were in jail for one day, you'd want to know the names of the prosecutors that did it to you, Mark and Regina. If the lives of others matter, the answer is no. So, I'll continue with more information. February 2nd, Psychopaths Inc., that's online, that's on YouTube. For Regina Harper, Mark Phillips, Monmouth County Public Defender's Office. That's February 4th. February 5th, called Information. Get some demanding information using the FOIL. And February 6th, this is called the Blue Wall Silence. I was recently on here about the Blue Wall Silence, and there's other things I'm demanding from you. So, I was evicted from my residence, and I slept in a house while in Park for 3 weeks. And you are the darkness of life. You are the hatred of life. You, Sheriff Todd Baxter, and you, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, the darkest hatred of life. And I have been helped by individuals with the highest degree of integrity, character, and decency. And one of them is Robert Valente at the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. Robert's helped me over and over and over. So I believe that when you've been helped, you have an obligation to thank those that have helped you. So this is my letter to Robert Valente, United States Department of Veterans Affairs. February 7, 2023. Dear Rob, thank you for helping me return to a normal life. The good things are present now. Perhaps the beautiful things are in the future. I'll be grateful until my final day for your professionalism, kindness, and commitment to altruism. I am free because you helped me achieve freedom. I'm a subleasee at 1 Pleasant Street here in Rochester, New York. It's a loft next to the transit center that is the lofts at Michael Stern. Michael Stern and Company was a clothing store liquidated in 1977. This link is the Wikipedia where you can see the mural of a man holding a suitcase and walking. I'm on the 5th to 7th floors. I have an electronic key fob to open the door under the mural. I use it to access the elevator and open the door. This is the first residence where I had to use a key 3 times to answer where I live. I moved here on November 1, 2022. My sublease ends on February 28, 2023. I need to move to avoid incarceration for the 7th time as an innocent man. In one of our conversations, we talked about our experiences in the Capital District. I lived in Albany and Guilderland, and I moved to Albany as soon as possible to guarantee freedom to escape the normal. I think I have enough money to move, and move is easier because everything I owned is gone because of my eviction from my Penfield, New York residence. I was evicted and did not know the front door was locked by my father's son landlord, Giuseppe Spano and Anthony Spano. I slept in Harriswell and Park in Penfield for 3 weeks. My ex-girlfriend, Laura Riley, drove me to the Salvation Army. I was thinking about questions to ask you in bullet points, but I concluded that would be rude and ridiculous in some kind of Gordon Gekko thing. I just have one question. Is there anything I need to do or be aware of in the next 3 weeks before I move? I'll do what you tell me, especially if that includes walking to Social Security on East Main Street to complete documentation or anything else required to be in good standing. I don't have restrictions. The last time I was in New York State Supreme Court on 99 Exchange Boulevard, $208,000 supervising judge, Alex Renzi, told me I completed every obligation, with court appearances, jail, or anything. I am, however, concerned about this bureaucracy called Pretrial Services Corporation. I was required to visit PTSC at 691 St. Paul Street in Rochester, meet its employee Jamie Belliard. I was ordered by Renzi to appear at PTSC when I didn't have a trial scheduled. In Albany, I lived on State Street next to Capitol on Winthrop Avenue, 10 minutes from SUNY. Google is extremely useful in helping me find an apartment in Albany, and that's what I've been doing for 7 days now. I hope your work is recognized. It's a recognition of excellence you possess, its values of hard work, decency, and compassion. This is the fundamental decency of the human heart. Today, the best things are now possible. The average things that were lost are present. It's terrific. Thank you for your dedication to the United States Department of Veterans Affairs, because now there's finally a hope for a life of fulfillment. Christopher Chichester, 1 Pleasant Street, Law 520, Rochester, New York, 14604. So I sent that to Rob, and I also sent it to United States Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Dennis Richard McDonough. So Secretary McDonough, see what Rob did for me, and I also sent it to Rob. So Rob, get it. Rob, that should arrive tomorrow or within the next 48 hours, Department of Veterans Affairs, and for Rob. So any freedom of information law I'm using, I use different ways to communicate with you. UPS, where I'm demanding the names of my prosecutors of silence. This is UPS, where it's tracked and you receive it. So these are the green cards that come back to me. Now you see these foil documents here, you Benito Mussolini skinhead. You disgusting, revolting, Donna Karan, idiot, Sandra Doorley. This is just January. You have all these. Now when I say you have all these, that's UPS. And registered mail return receipt, the green card comes back to me. And what you're thinking the whole time is I'm now 17 minutes in is he should be arrested. How do we get him in handcuffs? How do we present him in front of Alex Renzi, where no one from the district attorney's office has to talk because a prosecutor's never talked to court for me. It's easy now for me to read the minds of psychopaths. And that's what you are at the district attorney's office and sheriff's office. You will never know it. So, these are the individuals that I've contacted with the foil when I'm demanding information such as the cost of Ryan Fisher's trip to Atlanta, Georgia, the cost of that swimming pool photo, if you expended taxpayer dollars to settle sexual harassment lawsuits. Over and over and over, I'm demanding information from you. The last foil I sent you at 72. So, here it is. This comes back to me. Tell your employees to sign their names in a professional way, you Benito Mussolini skinhead. Todd Baxter, Sheriff, MCSO. Oh, is that right? I know it's the MCSO. Why is there a name there? 119. Todd Baxter, 120, M. Farrelly. Todd Baxter, 124, M. Farrelly. Todd Baxter, 124, M. Farrelly. Todd Baxter, Bart Com, 12523. I don't know what that is. Todd Baxter, Bartholomew Com, something like that. I can't read it. This is Michael Rather, who's still there at $0. You pay this freak no money. That's taxpayer money. Is this freak, Michael Rather, paid private campaign money from your accounts you created in 2017 and 2021? When I go to the Board of Elections, in either Monroe County or the State Board of Elections, Albany, or wherever it is, Look at your campaign contributions. If there's dispersal to Michael Rather, he's being paid private campaign money to work at the sheriff's office. This is you again on 130. S and F, I think that says. This is you again, the goater. The goat has been previous, 131. This is then Farley on February 4th. This is Warble, February 4th. Now this is Sandra Doorley again. The unprofessionalism of your disgusting Jonestown, where you Kool-Aid drinkers at 47 Southview. This says Distattny. Why isn't there a name? So this is on 119, Sandra Doorley. I don't know that name. Now here's somebody else. This is Perry Duckles. This is S. Calabrook, I think. I can't make that out, which is unprofessional. 120-23. Sandra Doorley again, same thing. S. Brock, 120. I can't make that name out. Sandra Doorley, Shahan, Birmingham, 124. Sandra Doorley D. Calty, Douglas Calty, 125. Sandra Doorley again, S. Shabrook, 126, pardon me. This is Perry Duckles, S. Shabrook, 130. Sandra Doorley, S. Shabrook, 130. Sandra Doorley again, R. Ignazio, 131, pardon me. Lisa Gray, S. Shabrook, February 3rd. Lisa Gray, S. Shabrook, February 3rd. S. Shabrook, February 3rd, again. Lisa Gray again here. I can't make that out. That's February 6th. Michelle Crowley, February 6th. What do you think I'm demanding from you, Michelle Crowley? How the grand jury's convened and I don't know it's convened. And you're targeting me with this monstrosity of 18 to 24 individuals. And how do you pick the grand jury? It's your transcript to the grand jury. And Michael Houlihan purged himself in the grand jury when he said I swung a hammer at him on his back porch. And why didn't you call me to the district attorney's office for an interview, you revolting hack, Michelle Crowley? Because you're corrupt. Sandra Doorley again, February 6th. I can't make that S. Regula. This is Alex Renzi now, 118. M. Mikens. And when you're thinking at the district attorney's office, I'll never know if you watch me, if it's 0 or more than 0. Is you want me in front of this hack again, where you don't have to talk to the district attorney's office, where he could just declare me guilty, deliver me to jail, and I'm going to be in there for however long $208,000 Alex Renzi wants to keep me in jail, where a prosecutor doesn't have to talk in court, because the prosecutor's never talked in court to me. So who's doing this to me? Alex Renzi again, M. Mikens, 119. Alex Renzi again, 120. With M. Mikens again, 124. Alex Renzi again, 125. Alex Renzi again, M. Mikens, 126. Alex Renzi again, 130. Alex Renzi again, 131. Alex Renzi again, February 3rd. I hope this is driving him nuts. I hope he's going crazy when he sees my name and he's thinking, not him again. This Emory Law School graduate who has to go to Atlanta, Georgia to get his JD. Former employee of the district attorney's office who's a prosecutor's judge. The rights of the defendant don't mean anything to this hack. Lisa Preston. And if this hack doesn't know what's going on, if he's lost and confused, I think this is his clerk or employee. She's an employee of New York State Supreme Court, Lisa Preston. 119, Lisa Preston again, 120. Lisa Preston again, 124. Lisa Preston again, February 3rd. And this is the most important name. It's the only name I care about. This is Trinity Ross. This is not dated here by her employee, but it was recent. This one is dated February 6th. So everything I'm going to say here, she's got. All the documents I just showed you, the Freedom of Information Law, I sent her a package. I think there were 500 documents for Trinity Ross, the United States Attorney for the Western District of New York. But that's it here, right there. That's her name. That's her employee that signed this. And then when you arrest me again, and I'm in jail again, I'll contact her again and say, I said on this YouTube, on this Google product, I was again going to be smashed into a million little pieces with you revolting psychopaths at the sheriff's office, where you're going to just pull up to me when you can see me in Rochester, put me in handcuffs and place me in front of Renzi, some other corrupt hack. And then I'm going to be in jail for 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks. And then when I get out, I'm going to contact Trinity Ross and I'm going to send her this transcript and say, I told you this was going to happen to me. State legislation needs reform. This law allows one judge to determine innocence or guilt. And if it was anybody in your family, at the district attorney's office, sheriff's office, that was delivered to jail over and over and over by one judge when a prosecutor doesn't talk in court, I guarantee you would be in a rage about that. Destruction of a life. Trini Ross again. Trini Ross again, that's 130. Trini Ross again, 126. Trini Ross again, 127. Trini Ross again, 125. Trini Ross again, 123. Trini Ross again, 119. Paul, this is different. Paul C. Metzler, you, Todd Baxter, gave my private health care records to this $28,000 bolt-headed widow. Health Insurance Privacy Protection Act of 1996, passed by my former employers, United States Senate, United States House of Representatives, to properly protect health records. And Paul C. Metzler asked me a question in Penfield Court, only my mother and father know, because you disclosed my private health care records to Paul C. Metzler in violation of HIPAA. Think about the best possible lie when I contact the United States Department of Justice about you, Todd Baxter, violating federal law. Paul C. Metzler again, 120. Paul C. Metzler again, 125. Paul C. Metzler again, 126. Paul C. Metzler again, 130. Paul C. Metzler again, 123. Paul C. Metzler again, 23. I'm demanding from her the defective documents in the case of Daniel Durr. You know exactly who he is, accused child rapist. And they're not going to send me anything because they're corrupt in Penfield Court. And you love that sick, revolting Star Chamber. Do you notice there's no jury in Penfield Court? Perry Douglas at the district attorney's office. You ever been in there? Did you notice there's no table for a defense attorney? Did you notice there's no table for a prosecutor? Did you notice there's no witness box for testimony? Do you, Perry Douglas, if you understand a courtroom, think Penfield Court's a courtroom? I'm going to tell you what the answer is. It's not. James Humilly Jr., 120. This violent thug, Jermaine Bettman, snaps my head back at the gym. And when Andrew Reale arrives, Todd Baxter, 79,000 employee, we go out to the vehicle, I sit in the backseat of the vehicle. Reale tells Bettman what to say to me. The 7 words, I want to press charges against you, and that's how I'm charged with arrest per second. Sit in the backseat of Andrew Reale's Monroe County Sheriff's Office vehicle. I'm in Monroe County Jail for that when I appear before John P. Lomenzo Jr. Jermaine Bettman has to appear before you, James Humilly Jr. You know what happened because I've said this repeatedly here on YouTube and on an app called TikTok. I get the subpoena. Your employee immediately comes to me, says my name, I confirm my name, ordered out in the hallway. This violent thug, Jermaine Bettman, walks in, appears before you because you, James Humilly Jr., negotiated a deal with Jermaine Bettman's attorney to let this violent thug walk right at the door. Are you watching me, you 70-year-old fossil? Do you know what I'm talking about? I mean, are you at such an age where you have no idea about the name of Jermaine Bettman? What's the answer? Where's your financial disclosure? You didn't send it to me. I got it from Paul C. Metzler, which I have not looked at. Where's your money, James Humilly Jr.? I'm in the process of attempting to determine if you have conflicts of interest, just like with Todd Baxter and Sandra Doorley, who've also refused to send me their financial disclosure. James Humilly Jr. again, 124. James Humilly Jr. again, 125. James Humilly Jr. again, 126. James Humilly Jr. 130. James Humilly Jr. 131. James Humilly Jr. February 2nd, pardon me. James Humilly Jr. 26. Is Mark Phillips 119. Mark, you know the names of my prosecutors. It is astounding to me that you're refusing to tell me their names. And this is why now I made the progression away from thinking that I have been defended with honor and integrity. Because now that I have more facts at my disposal, more facts available that I could think about, I should have been out of jail immediately in one day. And I was languishing in jail day after day and week after week. And the reason why I was thanking you was I was so happy to be free. The reason why I was thanking Regina Harper is I was so happy to be free. But I really wasn't defended at all. The job of you at the public defender's office, Mark Phillips and Regina Harper, for me is to get me out of jail when they've already done what they wanted to do to me, which is destroy me. I'm not defended in the classic sense that you make an argument for a judge before I'm deposited in jail. I'm being violently attacked and placed in jail. And then after I'm in jail, I'm languishing in jail, when they can no longer keep me in jail, then I'm being released, and I think it's because of you, when I would have been released anyway. So that's why I say I've made a progression in my thinking about the public defender's office. Because if I was defended, it's an argument in front of a judge that I haven't committed a crime because I've been an innocent man my whole life. And another thing, Mark, Regina, it should be in front of a jury because that's the way it works. They're imposing this so-called bench trial upon me, which is not a trial, for the express purpose of declaring me guilty and depositing me in jail in violation of my due process and my civil and constitutional rights. And that reduces you to a joke where you just have to come to jail, fill out a piece of paper, and then I'm released, when I've never been defended to begin with. Gina Harper, 119. This is Jansen McNair, 119. Massive conflict of interest with him. Director of Public Integrity, again, 124, and that's everything. So, over and over and over, you've received this right here. What I just read. You received on January 5th. You received on January 10th. Received on January 12th. Received on January 18th. Received on January 24th. Received on January 26th. And you received on January 28th. First one here, January 28th. Richard J. Seaton walked into the Penfield Public Library, violently attacked me. The issuance of a new check to Christopher Chichester at the address below for an expired check in the amount of $61.39 from the County of Monroe Office of Sheriff Inmate Fund account. But that's the dollar amount in the pocket of Christopher Chichester when he violently attacked the Penfield Public Library by $75,904 Richard Seaton in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. I'm going to write a criminal complaint and send it to you soon about the violence that he exacted upon me. And Richard J. Stevens, 1, not going to be fired, and 2, not going to be arrested, and 3, not to spend 1 goddamn day in jail. This is a violent sociopath that stalked me into the Penfield Public Library. And he and Paul C. Metro decided I was going to be in Livingston County Jail. And everything I'm demanding of you, I'm going to demand of Sheriff Thomas J. Doorley in Livingston County. And I'm going to ask him, why was I in Livingston County Jail? Because I'm told by a Livingston County Jail employee that I would not be safe. So, this is the Freedom of Information Law on a couch. That's not my couch because everything I own is gone because of you. You can see that here. That's not everything, too. I think there are 3,000 documents on those piles there. Because I have more here, too, in front of me. Freedom of Information Law here, too. This loft, I'm in Rochester. I communicate with you because I have to create a Gmail because I know you can block me. I get a new Gmail. I got a track phone there. So I use that track phone there to create Gmails with you. I only use the Gmail once, and I got another phone here. So you can't block me with a new email. So, taking pictures of the employees underwater in the pool, you Benito Mussolini skinhead. Just an absolute and total disgrace. Your corruption is really sickening. And I think I'm holding this up again because I think it's a bigger photo. I don't know if you can see that with the glare. Yes, I think you can see that because I can see it. There are 2 of my neighbors right there. See them? See my neighbors? $83,000 Shannon Meyer, $16,000 raise. On the above date, approximately 1440 HRS responded to the above location report of a male trespassing. It's such a joke. He was such a joke and such a buffoon. You will never know it either. So, getting documentation for me over and over and over. This is the District Attorney's Office payroll. Mark Phillips and Regina Harper, who is it? Who's the prosecutor of silence? Mark Phillips and Regina Harper, the Monroe County Public Defender. Who is it? Tell me the names. I have multiple prosecutors. These are psychopaths. These are sociopaths. These are individuals consumed by revenge. Who is it, Mark Phillips, and who is it, Regina Harper? Tell me the names. Perry Douglas, who is it? How am I in jail when a prosecutor doesn't talk in court? How's that happen to any citizen? It doesn't matter to you at the district attorney's office that innocent citizens are in jail. That's why your disgusting, repulsive, sick boss, whose health is in radical decline, Sandra Doorley, had to form a conviction integrity unit. The Jonestown of you at the district attorney's office, which is conviction integrity unit, where you don't have integrity. And you have to form a separate bureaucracy within the district attorney's office to police yourself because you're corrupt. I'm being destroyed by silence at the district attorney's office. I'm being destroyed by violence at the sheriff's office, where I've been attacked repeatedly by these gun-toting, badge-wearing sociopaths. Silence and violence from you, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, and you, Sheriff Todd Baxter, has destroyed my life. My name is Christopher Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I'm an innocent man.